Bonjour, beautiful souls. It's Manuel Sky, and we are almost ready to start the series called Daddy's Reading Time. But before we do so, I'd like to present to you the 18 chapters of Seven Skies Under, the complete spiritual journey, so you know exactly what to expect when you get your copy. Each chapter could be a book by itself because we cover spirituality in all spheres of life. So this is just going to be a preview, and if you get the hardcover, the chapters list is written here in the inside cover. As you may or may not know, we have 5 different ways of reading the book, which are written here. We're going to talk about this later. Are you ready? Let's dig to chapter 1, Born Spiritual. The topics we cover here are incarnation, education, religion, God, and faith. So here I'm presenting how I was blessed to be born in spiritual families. So my reality, what I know of this world, is already spiritual from birth. So it was really funny, you know, when people in my life would tell me, I don't believe in this, I'm not sure about this, because for me, this is the only thing I know. And this is what I present here in the first chapter, Born Spiritual. And basically, I'm reconnecting you to your own story to see that you were also born spiritual. There's many signs before the education system came into place in the society in general and all these religions. Yeah, you all had the spiritual truth inside of you. So that's what we were gonna reconnect with this first chapter. Chapter 2, Reawakening. Yeah, we covered the topics such as the first love, first synchronicities, the former life connections, woohoo, my first guru, and everything paranormal. So the reawakening is a process that we all go through at different ages. I went through it at 18. So basically, yes, I was born in spiritual families, but at 18, this is when I had my first premonitions, and I started to see the truth of this world, and I started to really want to explore those superpowers and dived into it. And I was like, oh, I can astral travel, let me freaking do it and master it. And this is what I teach you in here. Like, we all have to go through that reawakening, no matter if you're a young kid or like a more mature human already. There's always a stage of your life that this spark of spirituality is going to come back. So maybe you have done it already, maybe it's coming for you with the book itself. So we're gonna get through this together so you won't be alone. And that's what I had many times in my life, where other people came to me like, oh my God, thank you, Manuel, because with you I can be open-hearted, I can share anything with you, and you understand me and that kind of stuff. So the book is really meant for that. So it's like a conversation just between you and me, so that you feel that you can confide in me. Chapter 3, Paranormal, the new normal. Topics such as signs, yes, signs of the universe, symbolism of all those signs, communication with the invisible world, future lovers, and such things. This is the chapter where I kind of share my first experiences when I understood that the laws of physics were not what people think they were. Yeah, because you know, if you have an open heart and you don't fear it, only if you don't fear it, then you're gonna be able to interact with what we call the astral world. All my stories, which others would think are spooky, are in there. So if you want this to happen in your life, you have to be open and receptive. So if you ask questions, be ready to get the answers and the signs of the universe in perfect synchronicity. Don't be fearful, otherwise you're gonna block it. So everything that you saw in the Hollywood movies happened into my life, except from a place of light and love. So there's nothing to be scared about. Let's go to chapter 4, Angel, Soul, Ghost, Entity. Here we talk about calling the entities themselves, the ascended entities, the newly deceased, entities that stays in this realm after death, entities before birth, this is really interesting, and of course the guardian angels. So this is really key here to understand the language, because all these words mean the same thing, you know, angel, soul, ghost, entity. This is just the soul. You are a soul into your body. I'm a soul into a physical body. Sometimes at night, you leave your body, which is astral traveling. Life after life, your soul gets into a new body. And some souls without bodies are just entities around us. So here, I help you to understand which is what, and how to interact with them, how to help them at times, and how to be open and receptive to receive their help, because a lot of them are trying to help you. Chapter 5, Awakening the Healer. If you read Seven Skies Under, definitely you are a healer already. We all are healers, but there's a part of yourself that knows this already, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I open your palm here and I read it, I'm gonna see in most of you the healer side. We're gonna cover topics such as the real meaning of healing, moving the energy, stopping bleeding, yeah, because I did that from my grandmother's side, clumsiness versus centered soul. This is really, really key. I don't give you details yet, you're gonna have to read it. Oh, relationships and illnesses, oh God. Diseases and beliefs. And then we cover basically all the body of light, the mechanics of the body of light that I call, so the chakra systems and the nadis, which are the energy lines of the soul. Here I'm gonna share my stories, how I did my first healings with my mom asking me to do it, basically. She absolutely knew I could do it, so she just like, do it, and it worked. We're going to cover the symbolic of each illnesses just briefly, because there's numerous work on that. The key here is that you will be able to assess where you lack energy, and you can recover your health or increase your health, because you can always increase your health. This is chapter 5. And then we go to chapter 6, Elevated Health and Breath. This is a bit the continuation of chapter 5, but here we focus on stress, breath, reverse breath, there is such a thing, yes, quitting cigarette. I'll teach you how to do this very easily on top of it. We're going to talk about chronic conditions, Ayurveda, which is the traditional Hindu medicine, which is key in health, symbolism of energetic imbalances. We're going to talk about cures, and obviously sexual health. The key points in this chapter would be the fact that everything is related to breath. You know, it's the first vital function of the human body. And when you do it properly, then you can come back to health. And also, the main thing I've encountered many times in my life is that people with anxiety was just a question of bad behavioral breath. So you can fix it with pranayama, or breathing exercise, posture, and all of that together. So I give you the key here to cure that so easily. And about chronic disease, I grew up with psoriasis, and I retrieved my state of health with good life habits. And now chapter 7, Elevated Fitness and Body Care. Yes, because all of you have asked me, what's my fitness routine? What's my diet? Do I count or calculate anything? And the quick answer is no. I just really listen inside, and I do everything with awareness. This is the key in everything spiritual. Just do it with awareness, right? And when I understood the prana and the energy, I just put that same intention when I was doing yoga into anything that I'm doing in terms of fitness or acrobatics. You know? Yes, I'm going to teach you even the symbolic of handstands and all the flexible poses. So we're going to cover all of that, the intention and the mastery, all the exercise, the proprioception, balance, inversions, stretching, dysmorphia, nutrition, sleep is key, and fitness, You know, every time someone came to me at the gym and asked me, can you teach me how to do splits in 2 lines, they were asking basically. Well, I give you a whole chapter about it. So all my secrets are there, every single thing. Because 2 lines is not enough. You want to do it properly and thoroughly, not to hurt yourself. Safety is key here, safety in anything that we do in fitness. And now going to chapter 8, intentions for a synchronized life. Oh, this is a fun one where I present to you how everything happened into my life perfectly synchronized. Yes, because I first put the right intention, and then I was able to listen, because the universe always say, oh, pay attention here, pay attention there, and here, there, so you can be aligned into your actual life path. So we go into choosing our words first, because the words that we choose, that we speak, will have an effect on our daily lives, okay, and what we manifest in life. Timing, matching frequencies with other people around you, connecting with strangers, and the plans of the universe, how to set clear intentions, and synchronicity. Sorry, I can't say some words, so I have to. It will be fun for you to identify these moments in your life where those synchronicities happen, and when you have to pay attention, because the universe is guiding you in your destiny, in your life path, in your mission every single time, even though sometimes it doesn't make sense at first. So here you will see clearly that when you have clear intentions, stuff will start to happen to align you in that chosen destiny, because yes, you have free will. Chapter 9, Angelic Intervention. Okay, this is a heavy chapter, I'll tell you. It's heavy because I lost many friends to drugs or addictions. So I thought I'd write a piece to share those stories, but how to help people to come back from it. Okay, because yes, if I lost some of my friends, it's because obviously I did not succeed in saving them, because they had to save themselves. So the key here, I'm hoping to share with my stories, that you will be able to recognize those moments when yourself on that line of no return, because there's a line of no return that you cannot cross for your mind, especially if you're spiritual. We're even more at risk with the abuse of drugs, okay, or any substances, because our minds are super open already, and what those substances do is to open your mind even more. So you will be able to come back from it yourself if you need to at times, and to most likely to help other people to stay grounded in this same reality that we're on. Yeah, sorry, it feels emotional, and every time I read this chapter I start to cry. You probably do the same. So we talk about abuse versus balance versus abstinence, psychosis, the leisure of drugs. I've been asked so many times if I do ayahuasca, and the answer is no, I don't need it. And the fun part is the natural high. Yeah, because there's ways to achieve those levels of ecstasy by yourself, completely for free, with just posture. It's true. I call the chapter Angelic Intervention basically because I went a few times in my youth to that line of danger, but then the universe showed me my future potential if I would keep going that route, and it was beyond this world, trust me. In short, there's a stranger that showed up to my place that reminded me of what I could be if I would still abuse those substances. And then that was the last day. That was the last day. It was like an angel sent on earth to warn me. So I hope with this chapter, it will be that intervention, that angelic intervention, to help you or your friends if needed. Okay, because you don't need anything. You don't need anything. And it's very dear to me, especially, being gay myself, because gays have the balance of the feminine and the masculine energy. It makes us, by nature, natural healers, teachers, catalysts. And if we abuse substances, it prevents us from doing so, prevents us from elevating our vibration and accomplishing our missions. And those substances are a huge, huge problem in the gay people. Now we go to chapter 10, when the future comes to speak to you. Oh la la. Let's cover the topics. Appearing in the light. The final sign of the universe. The leap of faith. The future potential. The Merkaba in action. And getting in the right direction. I don't want to give details yet, you have to read it. This is where the timeline was all at once in my life. Past, present, and future was all in one place. So, after the angelic intervention, this intervention was when I redirected my life to do only the things I wanted in life. Yeah, and that's what I want you to do with this chapter, is to also take control of your life with your free will, of course. As you see, you're always guided, and sometimes that guide could be yourself. And then we go to chapter 11, connection to nature and elements. Ooh, that's a fun one, because we all are nature ourselves, right? So when you connect with it, beautiful things can start to happen. Like, no mosquito bites. Yeah, there can be such a thing. We're going to talk about the animal realm. Obviously, like what Mia is doing for me, and Felipe now. They're both sleeping right now, but they say meow meow. Animals are so connected with the universe as well, so you can pay attention, and they can be healers mostly. We're going to talk about the vegetal rain as well, and the fact that we are magnetic because of what? We are made of water. Because what? We are made of water. And the moon controls the tides. So we're going to cover all of that, how the moon can impact our lives so much. And when you understand that, you can channel that energy, that beautiful creative energy, to do anything you want. Otherwise, it's disruptive. And now chapter 12, diving into the mystery of water. Ooh la la. If you were already questioning the laws of physics, here you'll understand from a very new perspective. Because yes, it followed me all my lives. This water connection. I share first like what happened to me since I'm 3 years old until my 30s, actually, till I understood what was going on. You know what, I don't want to spoil the surprises of this chapter too much, because you have to really read the rest beforehand to understand the full potential of the human powers here. But basically, my grandfather was a dowser, so he was finding the sources of water on the ground for the little village, so they could dig well, except I didn't know that. But I had the same power within me, so I created lots of situations where I could not understand what was happening myself. And then eventually I started to master this and start to teach people. That's what I'm doing with this chapter. We have to be very careful how we use these superpowers of connecting with the elements. There can be abuse of power, and that can be very destructive. But if you use it from a place of love with good intention, then it's creative, right? It is indeed one of the most important chapters in terms of superpowers, okay? Now we're going to chapter 13, the life path. This is the chapter that would count as my bio per se, because a lot of you have asked for a biography, and this would be it. So this chapter is chronological from my childhood to now. The exercise here is for you to understand again that the universe is always trying to lead you into your destiny, your life path, although sometimes it doesn't make sense. Although sometimes you want to escape certain situation and you say to yourself, why am I stuck here in this life? Like, I was in retail for 16 years and I wanted to work in spirituality and so many things, and I wanted to be a singer and so many things, and it was not my time. But I needed all those teachings and I needed to help all these people and to gather more and more information to become a yoga teacher, to become an acrobat. And now I can fuse all of this into the future shows that I'm going to be doing, right? Even the adult industry that I've been working on are really, really key. So I showcase you here, with the signs of the universe and the premonitions and all of that the universe was always guiding me, therefore it was guiding you into your own life path. This is when you're gonna find and understand your mission, your purpose. And then that leads us to the chapter 14. Sacred, let's call it sacred lovemaking. This is the biggest chapter of the book in 3 parts. We separated it in the soul of Zegs, the mind of Zegs, and the body of Zegs. Let's call it this way. It's funny, I'm not gonna share everything that's in there because this is like about 100 pages just for this chapter. When I understood my life mission, I understood that I should be bringing back the sacred into that part of life for other people. And the principle is simple, and I've said it many times. We are born onto this world, from the astral realm to the physical realm, because of our parents when they copulated. That energy is the strongest on the planet, that it creates enough energy to channel a soul to take a physical body. And therefore, we need to praise that energy and embrace it so we can elevate into that shift of consciousness. Because if you come onto this world because of that energy, this is that energy that's going to help you to shift and rise your vibration as well. And remember, it could be any form of creative energy. It doesn't have to be sex itself. Through my career in the adult industry, I was asked many times to teach everything that I know because, yes, I did have to explore all the different aspects of it, and all this wisdom is here. But careful, don't jump into chapter 14 right away. You have to read chapter 1 and 2 first, at least. Otherwise, you're gonna be a little lost, okay? Now, one of my favorite chapters, number 15, evolving psychic abilities from astral traveling to intuition and everything in between. We're gonna go into first the perception of those psychic abilities through time and through society, because in other lives we were declared crazy if we talk about this. In other lives we were called shamans, and sometimes we were called deities. From a god to a witch. Like, what? So we're going to talk about the perception of that, then we go into mastering all of it. First with palm readings, but palm reading as we read the soul, not just the future, because the future is yours to decide. We're going to go into tarot and free will, dreams and their symbolism, and the types of dreams that we have, because there's various types of dreams. Astral travel and their purpose. Going to talk about soul expansion, which is basically the same thing as an astral travel, except you stay in your body and you're awakened, which is a beautiful tool as well. And then we finish with intuition and permanent connection, because that's the key. Because all these psychic abilities, it's different tools that we have that we can master to understand what we should do next in life and what the universe is trying to say to us. But again, they're only tools, and sometimes you have to put yourself in a state of meditation or that kind of thing, or being asleep. But with practice, this becomes your nature. This is our true nature, so you can just connect and channel the information right away. And then you get the beautiful goosebumps all over it, like just a big dose of love. Exciting, isn't it? Chapter 16, Reincarnation. This is a very fun one where I give you the tools so you can start to retrieve the memories of your own past lives. But more than this, I make you realize that it's never your imagination. So when you have beautiful images from another era that pops into your head, it's most likely a former life memory. So you just need to identify it and focus on it a little bit. This chapter will help you with that, and I will share some of the stories of the lives that I retrieved, but I basically retrieved all of them. I did my regressions, but there's a second book for this where we're going to cover the stories of humanity, how I remember it through the memories of my past lives. You have to be patient for the second book, which is called Seven Skies Within. Here, I will still teach you a lot of things that you need to understand about reincarnation. We are going to talk about our soul family, the unique imprint of your soul, which we recognize usually in the eyes with that instant connection. Enemies yet allies. Yes, because from one life to the other, sometimes we play different roles. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. We're going to talk about the timing of death for certain people, lives of sacrifice, and most importantly, we're going to cover the birthmarks and the traumas, because that's one of the main reasons why you would want to go into a past life regression, to deal with those traumas that are still imprinted in you that you sometimes can't figure out why. The most beautiful thing about finding about your past lives is to understand your life mission, because you always evolve from life to life, but you are the same personality, the same soul. Once you have understood where you come from, it helps you to direct yourself for the future better, so you have a greater understanding of your life mission and your purpose, why you're here on earth, and why you keep reincarnating over and over. That's the beauty of finding about your past lives. Ready? Chapter 17, Between Lives, Between Day and Night. Ooh la la. So here we go back into the astral realm. We're going to talk precisely of what happens between incarnations, or right before the incarnation, because there's a lot of teachings that happens there. Sometimes your soul is out of body helping humans here, teaching them. This is the space where you're gonna create the blueprint of your future life as well in between lives. We're gonna talk about some of us here, humans who are alive, guardian angels. Yeah, when you leave your body at night, sometimes some things happens like this. And we're gonna talk about thankfulness. And lastly, chapter 18, my 40th year and on. This is the chapter where we revise everything that we saw in the book, and we reflect on that life path and get to the projections of the future. Yeah, because the goal is to shift consciousness, right? So what are we gonna do with this? What are we gonna do with these new superpowers that we've all acquired together? So are you ready for it? Because we are always guided by the universe, and if you're watching this, it's because the universe wants you to reach that permanent connection with your higher consciousness. This is a call from your soul, so we can unite all together. Come here. Mia wanted to say bonjour. Go to sevenskiesonder.com. Hardcover, softcover, ebook, available worldwide. Even if you want an autograph, there's these options as well. You happy?